Yo gang, what's up? There are two brothers from Germany who ruled the sample making game in the American hip hop industry for years. Kevin Gomringer and Tim Gomringer, better known as Cubeatz, are responsible for one of the biggest records by Travis Scott, Drake, Kontakt Black and almost any other hip hop artist from the US. But why exactly is their sound so damn good, and how can you learn to make samples good as Cubeatz? Let's find it out. The first steps in the hip-hop industry they made through a German rap artist called Fahrt. After they landed their first song on the German charts through Fahrt, more well-known rap artists from Germany like Kollega, Farid Bang, Casey Rebel and Summer Jam wanted to work with him. Since 2015 they got connections to the US producer scene and quickly started to collect a ton of placements there. Here's a quick overview about the credits they collected since then, and the list is not even complete. But what makes Cubeatz samples so special? Their samples sound vintage, dark and melancholic. Also their melodies are very simple, so sound selection and mixing is a key factor to make samples sound as good as from Cubeatz. Cubeatz often hire instrumentalists to play real instruments for their samples, so it's a good idea to use real sample-based VSTs like Kontakt for this type of samples. Instruments they use a lot are vintage pianos, harps, mallets, guitars and other keys, like an NC-17 by Travis Scott. Me and my bitch, I swear we like the same sex. Or Hype by Drake. I pull up in Lexus like it's 07, I just hit a lick, I gotta hit the next one. Good Kontakt bangs for this type of melodies are the Irish Harp, the Gentleman, Metal Flux and the Ephemer's nylon guitar. Free plugins you could use for that are Labs by Spitfire Audio and a free version of Complete by Native Instruments. If you know any other good Kontakt bangs or free VSTs for this type of melodies, let me know in the comments. Also they use a lot of flutes in their beats, like in two of my favorite songs, Tunnel Vision by Kontakt Black and Roll in Peace by Kontakt Black and XXX. Good Kontakt bangs for flutes are the Ambertone Juba flute, the Ambertone Ivory Wind and Ventus Wines Bazoory. For free alternatives for flutes you can also find in Labs and in the free version of Complete. For bass you should also use a real bass Kontakt bang like Rickenbacker. For this sample we will use the 30 Birds presets from the Irish Harp Kontakt bang, the Mallet Flux single from the Mallet Flux Kontakt bang, the Juba flute and this preset from Rickenbacker. So Cubeatz samples are mainly dark and sad, so it's a good idea to use the minor scale. Also very important to use the notes that are just one half step away from each other. Also what you can hear in many of Cubeatz samples is a 1-4 chord progression. This works so well because in music theory the interval between 1 and 4 is called a perfect fourth, and this sounds good every time you use it. Also you can shift up nearly any melody from the 1 to the 4 without notes leaving the scale. Also it's really important to mess around with melodies and find a nice simple melody that is catchy to your ears. So with this knowledge, let's cook up some nice melodies for the sample. For the structure of this tutorial I will mix all melodies at the end of the video. Usually I would mix them already while making them. know it sounds awful at this point, but trust the process, because now we are coming to the most important part. Mixing your melodies the right way is the key factor to create this vintage Cubeatz vibe. Effects you should use to mix this type of samples are tape emulations like RC20, J37 by Waves, or Sketch Cassette. 3 VSTs you could use are Isotopes Vinyl or Cymatics Origin. Also, you don't want to use fancy plugins like Portal, just use EQs, compressors, reverbs and delays to give each instrument their own space, like in a live recorded session with real instruments. To give the sample a more vintage and sampled feeling, you could use Fruity Slicer and Kickstart. Also, you could export the final sample and lower the sample rate with Edison. Yeah man, and now I will mix and master the sample. And that's it for the video. Hope you liked it and learned some new things. As always, if you want to support my work, please leave me a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel. Also let me know in the comments what type of tutorial you want to see next. And now let's listen to a beat I made with this sample.